Sinead?
I love yours.
It's the best instrument. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Positivity Report. Sinead de Vries is back. It's a Thursday with her Princess Leia hair, which I love. It's been a heck of a week so far. Sinead de Vries is a Chicagoan native, right? Well, South Africa,
yeah.
And then the other day I was listening to this golf podcast I listened to, and Tim Clark was on, and he's from South Africa, and that South African accent is just the best. It's like I've been trying to work on it. I just
Is he white?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, okay.
Is there a difference between a white accent?
Yeah,
and
I mean
okay.
there's definitely a difference, but like the white accent's like an Afrikaans accent, and it's like really like it's a lot different, but it's the one that it confuses people the most, I think.
Okay.
Because like there's a slight difference between a white accent and like the way my family speaks, but my family speaks very, very quick, and so a lot of people usually assume that my parents are like British, or we used to get Australian when we first moved here.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
But that white accent's like so difficult to place sometimes for people. They're just like, what is that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only word I can really say is prawns, because it's from that movie.
Prawns?
The prawns. The prawns.
Prawns.
The prawns.
Prawns.
It's from District 9. You remember that movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was set in Cape Town.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you do that?
Sorry. I was
Just trying to make us look like alcoholics.
No, I was trying to set it up in case Ken was coming out. I'm not sure if he was or not.
Dude. All right, listen.
I love you, Kaika's like exiting. Like, no. I was just setting it up.
Sorry.
Listen, dude. Okay, all right, we've been over this. Okay, if we want to go to the bar, you cut to that camera. Okay.
I was setting it up because I forgot to.
He was setting it up, Josh.
Kaika, this is like month 3.5. We have a guest here. It's a very professional program.
That's right.
Okay. We have a rundown.
Yeah, I know.
You Kaika, I give you full permission to punch Josh in the face after this.
Like this is
Honestly, sometimes I want to.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Okay. You want to punch me in the face? Awesome. You know what, Kaika? Listen, I can run this show, so you can just go. Okay.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go. Go ahead.
So rude.
I can just listen. It's really not that hard. Would you press a bunch of buttons? Okay. It's really not that. What? I'm sorry, I didn't like your what's poppin' idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
You didn't not just like what's. I'm not trying to make it awkward or anything, but you didn't like just not just what's. Didn't like it. You're like, yeah, that was kind of stupid. And then Mark laughed at me, and I hurt my feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry. This generation and their sensitive feelings. Am I right, Sinead?
I think you're being a little sensitive right now, Josh.
Me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys can just do the show yourself. That's fine.
You're the one that's fucking shit up.
What, dude?
Oh.
You went on the camera.
I was.
What?
Dude, I was fucking trying to set it up.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely absurd.
You know-
I don't ask for much from you. I don't.
Okay.
Go. Get out.
Fuck you then.
See ya. Good help her. I can't do it. I can't do it. Guy, come back. It's April Fool's. It's an April Fool's joke. I can't do it.
Dude, you gotta let me in on these things. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go along with this, but if by the slight chance that this is not real,
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. He's not even back. It's Mark Riley.
that was a really cool magic trick.
That was unbelievable. Did you see Kaika storming out?
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Your mic's not even on. We were trying to pull off an April Fool's joke.
What if your April Fool's joke like backfired in your face and you Kaika got actually mad and just
Got
actually
really
left?
upset. I couldn't pull it off.
And he's like, that's not the way we rehearsed it, Josh. You didn't like my what's poppin' idea?
Oh, man.
Good job, guys. That was solid acting.
Heather in there disgust goes, I just got really mad. OMG. I'm sorry, Heather. Oh, man. It's my favorite holiday. Ken Knapsack hates April Fool's. Like, I bet he hates this segment right now, but April Fool's is my favorite holiday.
I'm not a good actor. That's why I had to hide behind the monitor.
Yeah,
so.
he was
You
afraid
did
that he was
good.
going to smile.
Josh, you need to work on your smiles, though. You're a little too nice, you know? You're like yelling at him with a smile on your face.
I forgot to push you. Sorry.
Yeah, you were supposed to push me. There was supposed to be like a semblance of violence.
No one would have seen it. The camera was on me.
I know, but I wanted your reaction to be on camera, but
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I knew you were messing around 30 seconds before it started.
Really?
I was anticipating a joke against the audience.
Damn it.
Just because, like Josh said, April Fool's is his favorite. He already got me this morning.
Yeah.
He already told me how he got other people.
I was setting up
his
the
wife
stage.
and
you
his
kind of
parents.
messed it up by saying
You
I
that.
really set it
did.
up by being
I
like,
did.
look at all the people I pranked, and then you pranked me. So then I was like, this is not over. He's not going to let this go right away.
Well, the
Damn.
camera is set up for.
It is. Now it's set up for
But
Mark
that
Riley.
was a good magic trick, is that
Yeah.
after you left and he told you to come back in, Riley walked in 2 seconds later.
It was.
Good.
Riley not ready for the April Fools on a hot
Walked in
Thursday.
I
looking really
figured as much.
confused.
Ken last night was like, April Fool. I hate April Fools. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there that do not like April Fools. And
A
that's
lot of people
okay.
don't like practical jokes. Practical
Yeah.
jokes are you either like them or you hate them.
Uh-huh.
Some people really like pranks, but practical jokes, the ones that end within a minute and a half, really piss
Yeah.
people off sometimes.
I told Josh that he's lucky that my stomach's acting up right now because I had a whole bit I was gonna scare the shit out of him when he came in.
Which I would deserve. And I will
Yeah.
take an April Fool's joke.
Hey,
'Cause-
you were working on something at Keiko. Like, what happened, man? You can
I don't know.
scare him.
I don't know if it was the beef or what, but
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's that Portillo's Italian beef. On a serious note, though, no, I'm not a serious note. But so the April Fool's joke starts with my grandma, who my daughter is named after, right? Rose Macuga, the matriarch of the Macuga clan in New Brighton, Pennsylvania, a mother of 8.
Wow.
And she was, Sinead, you would look down on her. Like your neck would hurt from looking down at my grandma. That's how small she was.
Aw.
She was tiny. And so my dad ran track in high school. And my dad got to a track meet and his entire track bag before the meet was filled with all of her underwear. And just a note that said April Fools.
Oh my god.
That is freaking epic.
I know. And one time she went to the school and she got a used math book that was just sitting around. She cut out the pages, filled it with pancake batter, baked it, and then put it in my aunt's bag the day of her big math test. And she showed up and her math book was a pancake.
What?
That's amazing.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's the coolest mom ever.
I
I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
I used to do my little brother used to get really awkward when I would drop him off at school. He'd be totally fine the whole way. We'd be talking about movies and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And it used to be before Collider, so I would drop him off early.
Yeah.
And then he literally, as soon as we pulled up, he'd be like I don't exist in the car, don't look at me. So I used to start doing this thing where I would just wait until he's about to shut the door, and then I would just honk, and I'd be like, "Have a great day," and he'd be like, I'd be like,
Oh
if you
my
don't
God.
talk to me, I
Yeah.
will make it worse.
Oh, yeah.
It's always fun pranking people in school,
It really is.
when they're so awkward
Yep.
and desperate for a way out of their
Uh-huh.
awkwardness.
Yep.
It's good.
My dad or mom sometimes if they saw me on the school bus because sometimes they would be coming home from work or going to work and they would know that was our bus. My dad would get out of the car and be like, Josh, you forgot your deodorant. You're gonna stink all day. It's bad. He would just do that, to me if he saw me on the bus. The one time though, okay, so when I pulled off some pretty good April Fool's jokes. The best one though was in college. My brother and I took a picture of a baby and a picture of Ben with a girl holding a baby. Okay, it's my older brother, and told my parents that my brother had got a girl pregnant, and wrote this whole note, and we made a fake birth certificate.
Oh my God. You made a
And
fake
they've
birth
been hiding
certificate?
this baby for months in college at Penn State, and so my parents, I've never heard a more, and we let it go for a solid 5 minutes. They're like, we're coming. This is how could you? This is so irresponsible. How could you keep this from us? We're sending you to college. This is what we get from you for college. They lost it. And then they got so upset from that April Fool's joke that they didn't talk to us for a month,
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
which again happened again when I was living in Italy when I was doing my study abroad. My parents were very nervous for obvious reasons. I'm a very insane human being.
I didn't know
sometimes.
you studied abroad.
Yeah. Studied in Rome. Did my study abroad in Rome.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I've just never heard you mention that.
Yeah.
I thought we knew everything about each other.
Me too. This is crazy.
You know what I'm shocked about?
What's that?
How are your parents still falling for April Fools?
Correct. My
yeah,
wife has
parents
said
are
the same
gullible
thing.
though. Parents are so easy to trick. You
Yeah.
know, they're the best people to trick because no matter how many times you do it, every year in April Fools, they will believe you.
Yeah, they
It's
will.
their job to be overly paranoid.
Yep.
So they're immediately going to jump to the worst thing.
Yeah. I would used to call my dad's office from a blocked number and act like people that he had done wrong on a car deal. My dad is a very like honest man. He's not like my dad has won awards for being like customer service, all that kind of stuff. So for him to get a call that he'd like done a customer wrong takes it very, very seriously.
That's so
I would do
awful.
accents. Like it was awesome. But the one I did from Italy, to this day, my parents like get nervous about. Okay. So my parents were really nervous about sending me to Italy because they were afraid I was going to go to jail or like get arrested or do something stupid, which again, I've been known to do. So April Fools, and you know, the time difference is 9 hours.
Right.
So my parents are 9 hours behind. So I was timing it for like right around the time they woke up. So I call them, and they never got calls from me because it was so expensive to call. And like the cell phone minutes, it was like 1 minute to America was like $40.
Jeez.
So I call and I'm like, Mom, Dad, I don't have long. I got into a fight last night. I knocked a guy out. He's in the hospital. I spent the night in prison, but the Italians release you for 48 hours to find like attorney, and then they put you back in prison. That's how the system works here. I have no idea how that works.
I was
I
about to be
just
like,
made
that
that
is
up.
a great system.
I have no idea if that's how it works. I just totally made it up because they don't
very
believe anything.
progressive. Very progressive.
I was like, I don't have long. We need to find a lawyer that you may know or lawyers that you may know that speak Italian because we need somebody like a translator or something. And my dad's like, all right. Don't freak out. And you hear my mom in the background go, I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. My dad, and you hear my mom like crying in the background, right? I was like, Dad, you just got like you have to call me back because this phone is costing me way too much money. You have to call me back. So they call me back like a minute later. My mom is in the background crying. She's like, we're never going to get him out. You know what happens in Italian prisons. They just forget about him, and then he's gone forever. Okay, Mom, sure. Okay, this is what happens. My roommates are in the background. I have them on speakerphone. Are losing it. It's like, this is so mean, but they are losing it, right? My mom is sobbing in the background. My dad's like, all right, Josh, I'm going to call Mr. Scott. He's like our family friend who's a lawyer. I'm sure he knows somebody in the city of Pittsburgh that can speak Italian that may know a lawyer that we can like talk to somebody. Let me get back to you. And I was like, Dad, what is today's date? We got to make sure that we have the right date. I only have 48 hours. And he goes, April 1st. And then there's a pause. And he goes, don't call us ever again.
Oh
and he hung
my
up the phone.
God.
And he hung up the phone. And a month later, my parents showed up at an airport. They didn't call and tell me we knew the trip was planned. They didn't call to be like, hey, here's our flight information. My mom sent me an email that just said, our itinerary. Didn't say, Josh, hope you're doing well. Nothing like that. It was just like their itinerary, and they showed up.
Oh my God.
That's what's known as stewing.
And then they beat your ass.
Yes, correct. They were not happy. That was an intense one.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you how I called my father on April 1st and said I was in a Mexican jail?
No, that's
Yeah. My father, however, my dad goes, God damn it. And I hear him like hold the phone out like as he's composing himself, and it was just I sat there for at least a good solid 5 minutes on that one, and he was not happy at all.
Yeah,
not happy at all. Yeah.
The Macugas have been through a lot with Josh. Ben doesn't even try. And here's the thing: my brother never falls for one either. I called him this morning because he's in Palm Springs with the family, and they're really good friends. Is the head coach in Cleveland. And so I was like, Ben, you got to talk to Kevin. Like, apparently the Steelers are making a play for Myles Garrett. He's like, you're not going to fool me with an April Fool's joke, you dumb idiot. And I was like, damn it. God, it's like, it never works. Like, I would call him and be like, hey, man, I got bad news. He's like, it's April Fool's. I'm not an idiot. And I was like, God.
See, I know you now, so, like, I was worried that this prank that I was going to do was going to be a double prank, like Collider. So I was like, okay, something might happen, and it might feel real. So I was just like, okay.
What were you going to do? Or are you waiting to do it again?
No, I didn't know if you're gonna do something else or like be actually like trying to be serious or something, or try
like
and
it would
prank
blow
me.
up in your face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not a big like redemption guy. Like if you get me, kudos on you. Like I will try another prank later on, but I'm not like, man, I got to get you back.
Yeah.
Because
You're not a very angry person either.
No.
Usually the only times I've ever seen you angry, I think I was probably angry about the exact same things. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you just like.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely seen you angry, but not. I don't think you get angry at people very often more than you get angry at situations.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I'm not. I don't run hot. I guess would be the way of saying that.
No.
Speaking of running hot, Sinead de Vries. That's what they call a transition in the industry.
Yeah, I love that. That was good. That was good stuff.
How good was this season of F1? And I don't care if we talk about F1 the rest of the show.
I could talk about it the rest of my life.
Okay. First of all, I never really noticed it until this season, and I understand your obsession. Lewis Hamilton might be like the prettiest man I've ever seen. Like he is a gorgeous human being.
I'm just sad that I already watched the whole thing, like starting at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally at midnight, I was like, we're not gonna wait till tomorrow, right? And Nils was like, no, put it on. And I was like, all right, cool. That I've already binged the whole thing, so now I'm back to like have to be careful of how many times I say Lewis Hamilton in the house. But he is just absolutely 100% like the most gorgeous human being ever.
Yeah.
He's so pretty, but like in a beautiful, stunning way.
It's like unfortunately attractive.
That's unbelievable.
It's kind of like in like when you see an actress, like a supermodel, right? And then they try and be an actress, and you're like, but here's the thing: no person can date you, right? Or like, who is the unbelievably most attractive human being that Lewis Hamilton dates? Does he have a girlfriend?
Right.
Does he?
I don't.
I've never even seen his personal life.
I don't think so. I don't think he has a girlfriend.
And you
but
know
he might. He might. Who knows?
But they never. That's the one thing. They do some personal life of some of the drivers,
right?
And no personal life of the other drivers.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Have you noticed that? Like they don't do much personal life of Lewis Hamilton, but they did all that personal stuff with Valerie Bottas.
Yeah. Totally.
And like I kind of feel like that's the one thing that I don't get about Formula One. There's a bunch of things I don't understand about Formula One, but the whole like team aspect of like, hey, you're the number 2 car, let Lewis pass, right? I don't understand that. Just have 20 different teams. Don't have 10 teams of 2 cars. Don't you think that makes more sense?
Wait, say that again.
Okay, so Valerie Bottas, right? The guy is on Mercedes. He's on Team Mercedes.
Right.
He's Lewis's teammate.
Right.
But it's an individual sport.
Right.
Right? They're not in a relay.
No.
Okay? It'd be like, okay, so I've said it a billion times. Everybody makes fun of me, but I was a swimmer in high school, right? If my coach said, hey, you have to let Brian win tonight in the 100 fly, I'd be like, go F yourself.
Right.
I'm going to win.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the most messed up part, but that's also why this show is so, that's literally what drives a lot of
nice
the
pun
plot. Oh,
well done.
I didn't even know I did that.
You crushed that.
That's really what drives a lot of the plot of the show.
Sure.
You know, is like a lot of it has to do with not just the sport, but then the competition element, not just with the other teams, but you're right, it is an individual sport. And I do think it's so messed up that like, when that does happen, I get upset.
Me too.
Even if it's not my favorite driver, even if I'm not rooting for them, my heart goes out to them because I'm an incredibly competitive person.
Yeah.
That would make me so mad. And there was one race where, I can't remember, maybe it was season 2, maybe it was even season 1, where the driver literally just flat out refused. Oh, remember it was Haas. Remember Haas? How bad they used to butt heads in season 1?
Yes.
They didn't care.
No.
They'd be like, you need to let him pass. And it was Kevin.
wouldn't.
He was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like he literally did not care.
No.
Because I think after a while too, especially if you're like in the middle, so you're already falling behind other drivers.
Yeah.
You know, the least you can do probably in your own head is beat your other team driver.
Right.
You know, if I was not in the top 3 drivers and I was always in the 4, 5, 6, 7 range, I'd be like, screw this. I'd be like, I'm stuck in this perpetual middle range.
It's awful.
All I need to do now to make myself like at least save my dignity is beat my teammate.
Correct.
So I can't even imagine. But I agree with you. It's 100% messed up.
And it's like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, right?
Right.
Michael Jordan was everything, but they were still on a team, okay? But everybody's like, forget about Scottie Pippen kind of thing. But that's not an individual sport. They have to play together in order to win. Now, somebody said it's a point system, Josh. I get it, not Rick and Morris.
100% we understand
I
why
understand.
it's like that.
Also, he dated Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh, I didn't
Way
know
to
that.
go.
I didn't
Do you
know
know
that.
he's also like a pop star? Lewis Hamilton?
No,
He
I know,
sang?
but I've seen him sing.
Hold on. He sang on a song with somebody famous.
Really?
I think it was Adele. Hold on, let me call Amanda. What? She is, or like Miranda Lambert. Nope, that's calling you. Okay. Kaika Shively, what do you got, buddy?
I was gonna say I haven't started season 3 yet.
Oh, he just started. He's in love with it, right?
Oh, man.
We should all go to Austin for the F1 race.
I was literally just thinking about that.
Yeah. I've got a buddy that lives in Austin. Hey,
Hello?
Hey, babe. You're live on the Positivity Report. Sinead de Vries is here, one of your
Hey.
favorites.
Oh, hello.
Hey, girl.
Hi, guys.
Mark Riley's here. Kaika Shively's here.
Oh,
We tried to pull off an April Fool's joke on Sinead, but it didn't land.
Ugh, I hate your April Fool's jokes.
See, there you go.
That's funny.
Babe, who did Lewis Hamilton sing with on a song?
Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera.
That is wild.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know which album it is, but he's under a different name. Like he doesn't.
Okay.
He doesn't use his name.
It's like Sasha Fierce.
It's something like that. But I think
See
he
right
actually
away.
has a really good voice.
What was
listened
Garth
to the
Brooks'
song.
fake name, babe? You like Garth Brooks. What was his name?
Oh, I love Garth Brooks. It was Chris something.
Chris Gaines. Was it Chris Gaines?
Gaines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. Garth Brooks had like a fake album too.
Chris Gaines. That's still so country.
It's still country. Yeah.
I was reading that Lewis Hamilton used a different stage name because he wasn't ready to like introduce himself as a singer or as a musician.
It's like Hannah Montana.
So he like
Yeah,
came
see?
up with some stage name.
Okay.
But then he later like basically told everyone, yes, that's me.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
I think it was like her latest album, maybe like a couple years ago.
Did we found out he used to date Nicole Scherzinger? Do you know who he dates now?
Oh, no, I knew he dated Nicole Scherzinger, but I'm dying to know who he dates now.
Yeah.
Probably some supermodel.
That's what we were just saying. Sinead's got a thing for old Louis Ham.
I do. Oh, totally. So do I. I do sometimes lurk in his comments to see
So do I.
what celebrities are commenting. And it's,
Yeah.
of course, usually models being like, love to you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Do they say? What do they say, babe? What was that again?
Shut up.
All right. Thanks for clarifying. Love you so much.
Love you.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, so there you go. Amanda and you are very similar in the sense of like we'll be watching F1 and I think that she's not paying attention, but she's like, "Have you seen what Max Verstappen's girlfriend looks like?" She just like show
Oh,
me.
that's what I do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Noel's be like, "Are you not watching this?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, I was just looking up their entire like
Their life history.
Yeah, their entire dating history."
Yeah. Okay, so Kaika, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there with the Amanda call, but you were saying you haven't started season 3 yet.
No, but it's funny because like during season 2, I said something and Heather now questions my sexuality because I was like, why does everyone look like they're like a soccer player, like international soccer player, except for Max, like everyone else.
Max
like,
Verstappen is kind of weird looking.
and then me and her like we're thinking about
Some-
starting a drinking game where you have to drink every time Ricardo says he's good looking or he has
Oh,
the shit-eating
yeah.
grin on his face.
Yeah.
He is kind
I do
of.
not like him.
I don't mind Ricardo.
It was funny for a while. I don't mind him. I think I started really not to like him last season. I thought he was like fine first season, and I was happy there was a lot of personality first season because people were really awkward in the first season.
Yeah, totally.
But like they needed him. Then last season, it was getting a little bit much, and like I don't even think he's like he realizes how smug he comes across.
Oh my God, it's
But
insane.
I just actually think he's a really nice guy. It's just it's like how I have a resting bitch face, right? I just don't think he even realizes it. But then season 3, I feel like when they went into his life again and started talking to him and his like, oh, sorry, I almost like spoiled it. But once they started going into his life again, then I felt like that's a way better version of him.
Yeah.
Without a lot of context, he can come across as being extremely smug.
I don't disagree with you. I think, I mean, I liked this season. This season felt very abbreviated, obviously, because we're dealing with the COVID issues, and I think they could only go to certain races.
Yeah.
If you notice, like Netflix only went to Austria. Well, there's only 17 races because it was cut short, right? So they only went to Austria, Italy, and then like the desert ones.
Yes.
And they did the. Did I say Austria already?
Yes.
Then what was the other one they went?
Didn't they go to Australia? Oh, wait, was that the one that
No.
got canceled?
That was one that got canceled.
Yeah,
Remember, 'cause
yeah.
it was like right. at
Then
the
they never
beginning
went
of
back, right?
Then they never went back.
No, and they were in Bahrain, like you said,
Bahrain
the desert
and then
one.
the Abu Dhabi one, which
Yes.
is the last one.
Yes,
But
and
like,
they
remember
weren't in
last year?
America.
No, they didn't go to America.
Yeah, you're right. There wasn't a lot of races.
No, because if you notice, they did like
But they did that. I think that was always on purpose, right? They just did 2 races.
from different drivers' perspectives.
No, but they did 2 races weekend to weekend. They jammed it
Right.
all. So they only picked a few cities, probably the easiest ones to travel to during COVID.
Correct.
And then had them race 2 weekends in a row, right?
Yes.
Which I actually like. For them, I wonder if that's better.
Yeah, I don't.
I guess like it's a lot.
I think it's. I mean, first of all, the logistics of getting cars everywhere all over the world is insane. Okay, but like,
How do they even do that?
it's all.
It's not like they're taking 1 car per
No.
driver.
It's all cargo planes. I mean, and that's why in this season when poor Gunther is trying to raise money for
Oh
his.
dear God, Gunther. Gunther.
Hello, my name is Gunther.
I love him so much.
He's
He
very
is such
sweet
a
man.
Sweetheart.
Gene, listen, Gene. I'm trying, Gene.
Oh
Gene.
God.
And
Well-
Gene is over here in the States running like all of the NASCAR stuff, and he's making money over here. And he's like, Formula One is effing killing me. And Gunther's like, listen, Gene, we will try and do better. And then the next race, poor Roman Grosjean caught on fire, which was
you
the most
don't- stop
insane.
Stop spoiling.
Well,
before you
everybody
play
knew
this.
that.
Well,
Everybody knew that.
But still.
Sorry. That was once you start watching F1, you start following all the drivers. You
Yes.
follow F1 official.
Yes. It's like it's crazy. Like it's very
Yeah.
weird how I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, this race is tomorrow, and then I'm like looking up the stats, like things I never thought I
Totally.
would be doing with my life.
100%.
Are they racing this year?
Oh, yeah,
I
they're
assume they
racing
did
right
last year. Okay.
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton won last week, did he?
Yeah, he
Yes.
did. After
Surprise.
losing pole position to Max Verstappen, and I was
Frickin'
like,
Max
I was like, this
Ew.
is not it.
Yeah.
We are not doing this.
Max-
2021 will not be the year we fail,
No.
Lewis. babe,
Babe.
get your shit together.
I think I just started rooting for him because he has teal on his car, and I like the color of the car.
Oh, those Mercedes cars are insane. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
What do you think about the lookalike Mercedes car from?
Oh, from the pink team?
Yeah.
That was amazing. You're like,
That was
wait.
amazing.
They're not. They're Oakleys, guys. I swear. They're real Oakleys. I got them off a street guy in New York, and he told me they were real.
It was as soon as
Yeah.
it drove out, I was like, that is weird.
Yeah. Gabriel Caruja Andrade says, watch Senna documentary about the GOAT.
Yeah.
I have. I watched it
That's-
twice.
that's on
That doc
my-
is awesome.
That's on my list because we watched a
Yeah.
whole bunch of sports documentaries. Just like I think I
Yeah.
told you, right? We were going
Yeah.
through sports documentaries.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's on my list.
And we are going to get, I talked to Andrew Freed. He's going to Augusta this week to shoot some stuff for the Masters. So when he comes back, we'll get him on and we'll talk about
Amazing.
Last
Did
Chance
you
You.
get a chance to start it yet?
I'm halfway through.
Oh,
It's
what do you
it's so
think?
good.
It's so good.
It's like each season I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Because it's so powerful and it's so
yeah.
heart-wrenching,
I don't know. I don't know if it was just like.
but it's
these-
inspiring at the same time.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was just these guys or their
Yeah.
stories particular, especially the one guy, but like for some reason it just like hit me the way like I think it was like season 2 of Last Chance U football hit me like
Yeah. Hard.
remember that guy? Remember that big guy?
Ugh.
Oh god, he had me like sobbing. Like absolutely I was like a hot ass mess watching that
100%.
season.
Name here says, and this is a legit concern. Name here, I'm worried I'm not going to enjoy next season because I now follow the races in real time.
Yeah.
I will say, I've been following the races in real time since season 2, and I still enjoyed the shit out of it because you don't see the behind the scenes stuff. You don't see the personal interest stuff. And the way they shoot the in the car stuff and like the pit stuff and everything is it creates the show.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it
definitely
really
does. I will say that like 100% I do think there is a level of anticipation.
Yes.
When you don't know who won or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, because I do remember feeling like so incredibly hyped to like
Yeah.
figure out how this was going to end. So yeah, no, I can totally see that. I do try to avoid some of the stuff, especially towards the end of the season. And then I just like block myself off. Obviously, you're always going to know who the champion
Sure.
is,
Yeah.
but like it does help to like not watch every single race or follow every race.
So when I lived in Germany, I lived with an exchange family in a little town called Leverkusen, and that was right when Michael Schumacher was winning everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And my brother and I were talking about like our families were obsessed with Formula 1. Right. And so you'd wake up on Sunday and you'd watch Formula 1. Right. And I didn't know anything about Formula 1. Nobody told me about it, which is Formula 1 in German.
I think we
Did you
got
get that? Did you
yeah,
get that?
Yeah.
Thanks. So I woke up on the first Sunday there, and they're all dressed like Michael Schumacher, and I'm like, oh, so this is like Steelers Sunday. This is great,
That's awesome.
right? And they're watching the Formula 1 race, and I am bored out of my mind because it's just like camera, 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 and nobody's explaining anything to me. They're just watching in silence and cheering when Michael Schumacher does something good, right? So I go to like talk to my other Americans that were there. I was like, "Did your family watch Formula 1 this morning?" And they're like, "What is up with Formula 1?" And I was like, "I don't know," but everybody stops in Europe for Formula 1.
That's
It's
awesome.
soccer and Formula 1.
Yeah.
But so when they started bringing in Mick Schumacher in this season,
Yeah.
I mean that's just awesome when a kid is like driving like his father. That's because it's like there are so many professional sports where the kids never live up to the father. I mean it's almost impossible. Tiger Woods' kid right now, Sinead, he's 11 and he's incredible at golf. You should see his golf swing. He was on, so they do a father-son challenge every year in December, and he and Tiger played in it.
Wow.
And they came in like 4th place. He's 11.
I wonder if it's just like you have the absolute at your disposal, the absolute like master talent of someone who probably just like didn't do it, probably just played with him just to play with him.
Sure.
But then you're watching and like learning every single day. So like, or maybe it's just, I don't know. That always blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know your kid's going to be amazing at the exact same thing you're amazing at?
That it's so hard.
Unless they just have like natural athletic ability and like who knows? Tiger Woods could probably play other sports too, right? Like, and do it very well.
Sure.
Because that's just how athletes are.
But he was molded into a golfer by his father, right? And you would think that maybe Tiger Woods wouldn't want that. And maybe Michael Schumacher is kind of like, hey, I don't want. But then the kid falls in love with the sport, right? And you don't want to stymie him and say like this is really hard or everything. I would imagine. I mean, Michael Jordan, who's clearly the greatest basketball player of all time. You can argue the LeBron thing, whatever you want, but in his Hall of Fame speech, if you watched it, he's like, it had to be tough to be my children,
right?
Because his kids wanted to play basketball. But if you don't have the drive of Michael Jordan and you don't have the talent of Michael Jordan, it's going to be literally impossible. Jack Nicklaus's kids all tried to be professional golfers. I mean, one of the only family. I mean, there's a lot of families out there where their kids have gone on to play. I mean, Wayne Gretzky's kids didn't play hockey. They grew up out here, but they're like, my dad's the greatest hockey player that ever lived.
Right.
It'd be so hard to follow in the footsteps. I mean, imagine Lewis Hamilton has kids. Those kids are going to be gorgeous with whatever person he procreates with. And their dad is, I mean, it would be so hard to live up to the situation.
Absolutely. My, I was about to say my little Harrison. Harrison is like got a crazy good swing. Like he's so
in baseball
good.
or golf?
In baseball.
Okay.
I would be so depressed if Harrison was like, I want to play golf.
Why?
Because
you know how fun golf is?
I know people say that. I think it's because I played soccer for 10 years. I don't find it as exhilarating, you know? Are you about to take a shot of mini putt? Oh. I thought you were like, look, check this out.
I know.
Take a shot.
Where is he going?
So our buddy Garrett Farney, who I think you may have met, he's from Chicago. He's a golf pro in Chicago, outside Chicago. He gave me this as a dad gift. It's a brand new wedge. Look at it. It says Wild Man on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that sick?
Callaway's like the big one, right?
Yeah, they own everything.
This is nice.
Thank you. And it's Pittsburgh colors?
I see that.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Obviously. But so you were talking about Harrison, his baseball swing. And I loved baseball. Like I
don't know. Like golf is one of those things the same way, like I don't understand how Nils can read 17 pages of a cricket rundown. I'm like, how are you still
But
reading
don't you
this?
think we need an F1 cricket kind of thing?
For me, I don't know what it is. I need to actually experience these things live before I make judgments on it. But I know, like, I need to go to an actual cricket match, and then I also need to, like, see a golf match, too.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see it, experience it, because maybe the hype for me, I'm so used to the idea of, like, sports being very loud, you know? And, like, when I played soccer, like, my mom would run that whole field with me, and it was just, like, screaming constantly.
Your mom would?
Oh, my God.
Get out of here.
Yeah, she's
That's
the
amazing.
worst. My mom played Major League Softball, so it would make sense that Harrison would be good. Yeah, she did.
See, this is the kind of genes we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Was Nils athletic, or did he play sports?
I don't think so. No, like I don't think
He looks athletic. He's got
he's
like a soccer player build.
He's very, very tall and like very like thin.
Sure,
but
svelte.
Yes. But no, I don't think so. He's always been into art, and like that's the other thing is hilarious because Harrison, his art skills are questionable. We put him in an art class, and he's like, "Mommy, look at my seal," and I'm like, "Where's the seal?" Yeah, I swear.
Poor Harrison.
He did like
Tough crowd.
He did like a bunny last week. Sorry, last week his thing was a bunny because of Easter coming up. I swear to God, you guys, that bunny was the shit of nightmares. I was like.
Yeah.
It looked like a killer bunny from hell. Like I can't. Like the teeth were in the cheeks. Like it was very. I was like, I looked at Nils, and Nils was like.
I'm going to show Harrison this in 10 years when he's like, I'm now a portrait painter. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it is very scary. So I'm glad because like yesterday he was like, Mom, can we hit some balls? And I was like, oh, I love that. And we went outside and I was like, damn, like every single ball. And then like if he missed one, he was like, that wasn't a very good throw, Mom. And I was like, I mean, I know, but like, shh.
Did you play softball too or just soccer?
No, I played soccer and I did karate. And
you did. Coup Kai over
I
here.
played basketball for a hot second, but I'm a tiny human, so basketball did not go well for me.
As my dad said, my dad was a basketball coach. My brother was really good, but my brother was a point guard, so he like kind of ran the floor. I had no speed. My dad's like, listen, you got a fat Italian ass. Use it to rebound. That's all you're good for. He sent me out on the court, and I was like, all right, I know my place. Here we go. Ha,
That's
pass.
amazing.
Ha, pass.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love that.
Here's the thing. Like I've said, I want Rosie to play golf all the time with me, so I have like a daddy-daughter kind of a thing.
Yeah,
but if she doesn't want to play, that's totally fine. But if he has an interest in baseball, start him young. Like put him in cages,
know.
let him.
Well,
you
here's
know?
the thing: is like obviously COVID happened, but like
Yeah.
we had all these plans. Kid's never been to a preschool. He's 5 years old. He's
Oof.
supposed to start kindergarten in the fall, and he's never stepped foot into a classroom.
Oh
And
my
it
God.
terrifies me so bad because I'm like he's a good kid, but
Yeah.
he also has no idea like what it means to wait, you know. And in his art Zoom class, like everyone's like following step by step. Harrison's Killer Bunny was done in like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, you got 30 minutes left. Like, what are you supposed to do? Draw another Killer Bunny? I don't know. Like it's awful. And he's just like, I'm already done. And I'm like, mute him. He's like, I'm already done. I'm waiting. And I'm like, mute him. Because he's like so annoyed that the other kids, and he's like,
Yeah.
they're taking so long. So I just feel like it scares me. But yeah, I would love to coach like his soccer team too.
Yeah.
Because like after I played, I reffed for like years.
Oh.
So I'm like, dude, I would just fall right back into it, you know? I miss soccer. I miss having it in my family or a part of my life.
Well, I feel like the kid's introduction to sports most of the time is soccer. Mark Riley played soccer in high school.
Yeah.
That was mine. Like Little League soccer,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
ASO was my
Yeah.
big thing. And then I went into high school, and I was like, no, I was still playing
Right.
at a high level. I was like, let's go.
I mean, to this day, my brother played soccer all the way into high school. I stopped in the fourth grade, and I'm really upset about it. And I'll tell you why. 'Cause I had this coach, and I'll tell you straight up, Mr. Amick. I hope wherever he is right now, he knows that he was so mean to me as a fourth grader that I quit soccer.
Oh,
I
that's
never
awful.
played again. But stupidly also too, I got like good at swimming when I was young, and then the rest of my life was stupid swimming, which is like, listen,
Yeah.
it's fine. I love swimming in like open water, but when I look back at my whole
my nightmare.
life, okay, swimming just back and forth in a 25-yard pool over and over and over again. It's because if Rosie comes out, because she likes the water already, you put her in a bathtub and she's just like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, ah, crap. Okay, but it's really funny. Like she'll be crying and you put her in the bathtub and she just goes like,
God, I love when they just look drunk all the time.
oh, it's awesome.
It's the best.
But so she loves the bathtub, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, my poor mother had to sit through. You're talking about your mom screaming, running up and down soccer
God,
sidelines?
yeah.
There is home videos.
Yelling at the refs.
Yeah, oh, yeah. There's a video of my mom. Because my dad would videotape the races, right? And my mom would be in the background going, go, 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 like screaming, right? And then the one time I got DQ'd and my mom stands up. There's like 400 people in the audience going like, what was that? What? And my dad was like, whoa, he's 11.
My mom used
He's
to.
11.
My mom used to. There was one time I got elbowed by this girl. She like thought I did something to her or something, and I had been having a really bad game. I played midfield. I
Yeah.
always was running, and something happened to the goalie, and the coach
Midfield's
was
tough.
like, "Yeah, but it was my
Yeah.
spot. I like to run a lot. I had really good stamina because I also ran cross country. You know, I ran in the Junior Olympics for cross country.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? 2 years in a row.
What?
Yeah, I know it's wild to think because now I can barely fucking run up the stairs. Oh, I just swore. I'm so sorry.
Wait, did you?
Children all
Were
at
you
the
on the
home.
episode where we showed that cross country runner jumping in that puddle? Did you see that?
No.
There was this cross country runner going and like everything. They put an arrow on this kid, and there's this big puddle. Everybody's trying to run over it, and he just swan dives into it in the cross country
Really?
race.
He swan dives like on it. How did he know how deep the puddle
He
was?
didn't. It was like this shallow too. It wasn't that big.
That
Anyway,
is horrifying.
okay. So cross
Yeah.
country Sinead.
Yeah, and so like I just love that. So they put me in goalie, and I knew it was gonna be bad. Like my hand-eye coordination, whew, not good,
Okay.
right? My foot-eye coordination is great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I let like maybe I think I let like 6 balls past me, and then eventually I just looked at my coach and I was like, I get it, we don't need this game, but like please, what you're doing to me mentally is way worse.
Yes.
But he took me off, and I was just pissed.
Fuming.
And then after that, I was like, I am like, let's go. And
Right.
I was like raging. And this girl came up to me as I'm like back in my spot, and she elbows me. She goes, how does it feel? And I had no idea what she was talking about.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, what are you talking about? But apparently I'd hurt her or tripped her. She took it the wrong way. And so my, I just start
Don't
like,
mess with Sinead.
I just start bawling, but I'm like running and like,
Running and
like,
crying.
like tears, like not even making any faces, like tears just streaming down my face. And my mom lost it. She's like,
Do the South African accent, please.
she's like, Nady. That's my nickname, Nady.
Nady?
Nady.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't
It's a
say
great
that.
one.
I
It's
don't-
awesome.
I
That's
Why
an
have I not
awesome
thought of
nickname.
this?
Yeah.
Well, it's just like,
Shinasty is good.
Nasty
Nady
is
is.
she's like, Nady, like running all with me. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And I was like, oh my God. Like, and I'm looking at her like, leave me alone. And she's like, what is wrong? Then she looks at the ref. She's like, what is wrong? And I was so humiliated. And the more she screamed my name, like all the other parents were like, what is wrong with this girl? And I was like, wow, okay, so I could have probably gotten away with that, but because you drew attention to it. But I just remember her like whole time, Nady, and she's like, come here. I'm like, I'm playing. I am playing a game right now. She was like, oh, but it's just so sweet to think about it. But yeah, they loved it.
Oh my God, my what do you got, Ikaika Shively? We got a KO story coming in hot?
No, my mom is the one that all you hear is Shively, like yelling. And we have tapes of like some of our older siblings were in karate tournaments and stuff. All you hear is my mom in the crowd, kick him in the head, kick him in the head.
It's good. I love that. I love like stage moms in all aspects of life. You know.
Oh, it's the best.
My mom's definitely that person.
Yeah,
for sure.
My mom as a grandma is like way more protective than she was as a mom. It's kind of crazy. Like my little nieces and nephews do something like, watch them, watch them, watch them. Like my brother and I would be out like lighting each other on fire. She's like, bring a fire extinguisher. Jen Madeline Chet says, my sister was a softball pitcher. My dad was the coach. My mom was the manager.
Oh,
I was
that.
the mascot of the team. I was like 6 at the time. That sounds great.
I love that. That's so sweet.
Yeah. No, we got Streamlabs?
Streamlabs.
Nice.
We got a couple.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, going through some Streamlabs here. Matt the Beer Man, always a generous donation, my friend. He says, so I know yesterday I said that Grace was my favorite, but can I have 2, right?
Yeah. You
because Sinead is freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thank you,
I'm
man.
finally taking time off for the first time since January of 2020,
Wow.
and I'll be off for 10 days.
Whoa.
My friend Matt. Enjoy.
Matt the Beard Man.
Enjoy.
Matt sent us
Haskell.
that beer barrel bourbon, Sinead. Have you ever had beer barrel bourbon?
Oh, yeah.
Right up
It's
there on the
delicious
shelf?
stuff.
No, I've
It's
never had it.
fantastic. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Haskell 420 sent us a book. So Haskell, I'm going to paraphrase here, my friend, because we're in the middle of a live show. But April 1st of 1985 in Long Island, WBAB announces a major breaking news that Van Halen broke up.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about this.
Okay, so everybody basically lost their shit because of it. I'm going to, so pardon my French. So everybody was, calling the radio station, going, like, what? I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And they finally admitted it was a April Fool's joke, and that was that caused everybody to be pretty upset.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a
That
pretty
was
good
the story, and
That's
Haskell
like
420 was
really-
there for it.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, I mean, the one time I stole my roommate's car and like broke a window outside of his parking spot, and he came down for work, and he comes back, he's like, "Someone stole my car!" And I was like, "Look across the street," and he was like, "Son of a bitch!" And he ran back out. He's like, "I'm already late for work, you asshole." Yeah, I'll clean up the glass. Don't worry about it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. My dad. So my dad. If we went real quick on sports, my dad was not a baseball player, right? My dad did not like soccer, but my brother played all the time. So we dropped my brother at a soccer game. Like my mom would walk him to the field or whatever, and we'd be parking the car. And my dad would be like, this sport, it's so boring. Josh, it's so boring. Like I would feel so, because like older American men don't get soccer. Like they just didn't grow up with it. Like soccer wasn't introduced to children until the 80s, I think, like 70s,
Really?
80s, for sure. So my dad's generation missed it. If you didn't play football, you didn't play a sport,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
that was it.
I mean,
Everybody played football.
Yeah, it's wild because obviously I'm from South Africa, so it's
Yeah.
like soccer, rugby, cricket are
Right.
like the
We don't
the
have that.
trifecta, and even if we're not good in one year, it's like the loyalty and the fandom for those 3 sports. So
Intense.
soccer was like,
Yeah.
we all knew like we were gonna play soccer.
Of course, yeah.
You know.
Well, like we got into soccer because that was like a sport that everybody was playing, so we wanted to play. My dad was just so there's again videos of my dad just going like, "Kick it farther, just kick it harder." Like that's all he's saying in the
Kick it
video.
farther.
But so my dad like has watched Pirates baseball, but he doesn't like know a ton about baseball.
Right,
Okay, he's
right.
not like a coach or anything. But he and my 2 buddies' dads coached our team this one year.
Aw.
Right? And so I wasn't a pitcher, but we ran out of pitchers. So we needed me for an inning. So I go in there and I'm just all over the place. Like I am not hitting a strike zone to save my life. And my dad is just in the dugout going, "Stop aiming it. Just throw it.
Stop aiming.
Hey, Josh, stop aiming it. Just throw it." And
What does that even
I don't
mean?
know. So I'm walking back to the mound, and I had like a teenage meltdown. I think I was in the 6th grade,
Oh
Sinead.
my God.
And all I hear is my dad going like, "Hey, Josh, quit aiming it. Just throw it. Just throw it. You swim. You got a strong shoulder. Just throw it." So
I love that.
so
Stop aiming it.
there's a fence that's covering like the dugout, right? It's not, the dugout doesn't go down. It's just like a level on the field dugout kind of thing. And I take the ball and I look to my buddy Colin and I go, and he's like, and I just whipped the ball at the fence. I was like, is that aiming it? And my dad's like, no, that was throwing it. Do that. So that's
amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
That's angry. That's one, like, if you wanted to know angry Josh, it takes a while to get to me to my bowling point. But then when I do explode, it explodes in full force.
You become Italian.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like overnight. Thank you everybody in chat. A lot of fun comments in here talking about your sports experiences. Really fun. We appreciate all the super chats and the Streamlabs. Sinead de Vries, will you be here next Thursday? Do we know yet?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
I
can book another guest if you want to take the week off. It's totally up to you.
You're so accommodating. No, but I like hanging out here.
Okay.
This is fun.
We also didn't get to talk. You tried Sidecar Donuts.
I did.
And?
It was great.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Huckleberry Donut's for me though.
Oh, okay.
It's delicious.
Right.
But I
Which one did you get?
got the Huckleberry.
Okay. And
I tried a glazed one as well.
Okay.
Just because I was like,
classic.
If the donut place
Sure.
doesn't have an incredible glazed donut, then it's almost way harder for me to love it. You know,
Okay.
like every donut
Sure.
place needs to have a really good glazed donut.
Correct.
I think that's the way you judge it, but I don't know if it's the Huckleberry donut's also very filling.
Yeah.
It's very cakey.
Totally.
Which
Their
is
donuts are
like-
very cakey. Yeah.
Yes, but I love cake donuts. But I think it was like we got it after dinner. Like that is a donut I think you should have like for breakfast with some coffee.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily like a dessert donut. That is like this is a heavy donut.
Yeah. It's like a
know?
pancake.
It's just like thick.
It's thick.
Which is like good. Don't get me wrong.
It's like
But-
Rosie. She's thick. We went to the pediatrician. It's official. She's thick.
Is she?
Yeah.
Harrison was. I remember he was always 95% taller than other kids his age.
Yeah.
That kid's gonna be like way taller than me.
That's
He's like a
awesome.
skyscraper.
Well, he baseball. You know,
yeah.
tall.
He's
tall
so
in baseball now.
Tall.
Yeah.
And we got him a little basketball hoop, but he's
Nice.
doing the underhand
Oh.
thing, which I've heard is not illegal in
No.
basketball.
If the underhand foul shot, yeah, the granny shot.
I didn't really know that was like a thing you could like. Someone could actually play a whole game and only take shots like that.
Oh, of course. I mean, you
That
get
is-
blocked all the time, but you can from the foul
I
line.
feel like we should normalize underhand shots because I feel like guys don't do that on the court because they don't want
Bless
to
you.
be looked at as being not like manly. Like I honestly think there must be a stigma attached to
It's
that.
you're 100% correct.
Yeah, and I'm like, why? How is that? Like, it has been. After this, I found this out. Then I did some research because I'm a psycho, and it has been statistically proven that shot is more accurate. Like
100%.
And it's like, why are we not doing that? Just
the guy that
because
owns the world record in most foul shots made in a row does it granny style.
Good for him, but
Yeah.
you're furthering the stigma by calling it granny
Well,
style, Josh.
but that's what it's called.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's
So we
that's
just
the
call
issue.
it underhand. I'm just
We
going to
should
call it
call it
underhand.
like
I'm sorry.
cool dude style.
Do it cool dude style. You know, they tried to get Shaq to do it like that, and he wouldn't do it. He was
That's what I'm
way more
saying.
accurate like that, but he refused to
That's
do
what
it
I'm saying.
on the
He's
course.
like, I'm not gonna look like a old granny.
Yeah, and if Shaq is going to get made fun of, guys, don't make fun of Shaq.
No,
Okay, he's a giant.
he will squash you
He will literally
with
rip your face
his
off.
toe.
Yeah. Let's just go straight to videos that make me smile. All right,
Your
watch it.
house does that most houses don't do. What's that one unique thing that your house
Because you know this
does
jackwagon
that
is like,
most houses
my house has a
don't?
waterfall, and this guy.
What's that one unique thing
That's
that your
so
house
good.
does that most houses don't?
It's so perfect.
I have
right?
that drawer.
Yeah. And
I
you
have that
kn-
drawer.
And you know they're like, oh, they messed this up.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
they messed it
Yep,
up.
yep.
And it just like once it was too late, like they came too far, so
Yeah.
they just had to keep going with it.
My dad, we moved into our house. I was in the 3rd grade, right? And my brother and I shared a bathroom. And the door, the first day in the house, we tried to close the door and it hit the knob on the drawer, right? And I just go like whack, whack, and it puts a hole in the door. And my dad's like, God! we get it, Josh. I could have had it fixed, you stupid idiot. I was just like, like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I am the definition of like teenage insanity. I was like, I'm going to keep throwing a party until my parents don't care. Well, guess what? They always cared.
That's
They
hilarious.
always cared. All right, Ikaika, let's do a couple more.
Last one.
Last one.
That's hysterical.
Speaking of baseball, look at this little kid go.
Oh my God, he's so freaking cute.
First hit.
It's his first hit. Yes. This is stuff we need to get Harrison going. Look at him go.
Look at that.
Oh my God!
I don't
look
think
at,
he knew that he hit it. Like he was
Oh
so
my-
excited that he made contact.
Dude, look at he's such a little meatball.
I like
Well run. He's like
I
Rosie
know. It's like,
running.
look at those little legs.
Look at his little legs. Just
Go!
like
his scream of excitement when he
Oh.
gets the base.
He's so
I love that.
excited.
That reminds me of that little kid during the pandemic that went viral because the meme attached to it. Remember?
Yeah.
Or was it not? Was it the pandemic meme?
Was
But
it-
he's like,
Oh, where he's walking slow
yes.
motion.
And the
down.
coach is like, and he's
Come
like,
on.
he's like, no, this
Come
is
on.
my moment. That kid, I love that kid. Just like
So good.
doing the best slow motion run to home. So good.
I mean,
That is Harrison, dude.
he's
That
a little
is
smart-ass.
No, Harrison does things in slow motion right now. And when that meme went viral, my sister goes, "You got to cut that slow motion stuff out now because this will be you."
Yeah.
Like it's always like, "I'm going," but then he'll take like one step at a time, and I have to wait. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Mom.
It's hilarious.
That's good. This is the Positivity Report. Sinead, always a great pleasure to have you on the show, talking stupid stuff. Thanks for sort of entertaining our April Fool's joke.
Of course.
Sort of
course,
letting it
you know.
happen. Mark Riley, love you, bud.
Love
Thanks
you.
for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
GPACharity, thanks for going along with the joke. You played it. You played it about as good as I did, if not
I
better.
tried.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
you guys did good. I'll
was
give
really
you.
good.
I regret not pushing you.
I know.
I wanted you to feel my strength.
I know. The Hawaiian hunks. He's got that Hawaiian
I
strength.
love how you would have still kept it up because it, even though it was off camera, just to try to get my reaction on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are doing some of the most solid acting ever, but no one could see you. You were invested. I give you a
See?
solid 6 out of 10.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take 6. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Right?
He was method, man. He like walked right by me. He was
And
like,
then even when Josh said like come in,
I didn't even hear that.
he waited. He waited. I was like, he's really dragging this
Yeah.
out.
And Mark Riley just walks in. He's like,
What the hell's going?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? This evening, Internet for Old People, Ken, at 4 o'clock. He'll be streaming here. If you guys want to catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/FCF. That's every Thursday, the FCF show, Fan Control Football. Speaking of Fan Control Football, tomorrow on the show, Patrick Dees, one of the founders of Fan Control Football, my good buddy and co-host of that show, will be on, as well as Eric Bass, Mark Ellis, and then Chloe Condon is going to stop by for her first every other Friday segment, Positechfity. It's a look at positive tech out there.
I love that.
Sinead, a little positive tech.
Mhm.
Sinead, where can the good people find you before you go?
I'm online at Sinead de Vries.
That's it. She's a heck of a human being, one of the best. Can't wait to see you as a baseball mom.
That will be me.
That-
Switching in between South African and American accents
Oh,
like a
man.
psycho. Like when I get mad, then it comes out, you know?
I think you need to use the South African to throw everybody in California off. Like, whoa, she's South African. Don't mess with her.
I know. A lot of times, sometimes when I call customer service, I sometimes switch into it.
I think that's smart. I think that's really good.
Yeah, just take me more seriously.
This is the Positivity Report. Remember, every day, wake up, choose positivity. It's an active choice. It makes your day so much better. I promise you. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good. We will see you tomorrow.